Osteoarthritis is probably caused by a combination of what we're born with and what we do with it. So like most diseases, a mixture of nature and nurture. The common joints it affects is the weight-bearing joints, so our knee, the hip, where the pain is felt often in the groin, the lower back, and the hands, especially the base of thumb region, and for women particularly, the ends of their fingers. And squeeze the fingers hard. The Arthritis Care OANation report from 2012 is a really good attempt to try and understand what happens to real people with osteoarthritis, and not perhaps in a drug trial way, but to understand what the impact of this disease is on their real day-to-day living, and especially on their work needs. And so quite a panel of people all got together to come up with this questionnaire so we could understand what happens to people with osteoarthritis.
Osteoarthritis has had a massive impact on my life. In 2008, I had to resign from my job. I had a very, very well-paid job. I was quite a high flyer. But in 1 year I had to have 3 major ops, and my job wasn't one that they could just replace me with a locum, so I had a medical board, I had to resign. So I went from a very high income to receiving incapacity benefit, and that in itself has had a big impact on both our lives.
Arthritis Care has carried out the OANation research because there are 8.5 million people with osteoarthritis in the UK. We needed to carry out this research because we needed a snapshot of what their day-to-day life was like, so that we could then ensure they get the treatment and the services that they need. The fact that almost 1 in 5 people had to take retirement or give up work because of their osteoarthritis is a scandal. It's a real waste of talent for employers to lose good staff because they're not getting the support and treatment they need from the NHS or the flexibility from their employers.
I'm president of Arthritis Care and very proud to be so. This is an organisation that helps enormously with a condition that is still very, very much misunderstood. It causes deformity of the joints, it causes intense pain on many occasions. All those things inevitably lead to one not being able to be mobile, to being perhaps housebound, to your life being utterly changed.
Osteoarthritis has a massive emotional effect. The main component of which I would say is a sort of a permanent heavy tiredness, which comes from permanently monitoring the pain, trying to forget the pain, planning how to perform whichever actions I want to perform regardless of the pain. So there is a massive mental tiredness which is never matched by physical tiredness, so there's an imbalance. For my family, a good example would be the fact that I can't interact with my granddaughters the way that I would like to. They can hurt me by cuddling me, and that's not a message that I want to, to have a child cuddle you and wince. It isn't a message I want to be giving them.
It's a little difficult to estimate what's going to happen with rates of osteoarthritis, but if things stay roughly the same and with the population ageing, we could see a doubling of the osteoarthritis community. And given the increasing and rapidly increasing ageing of our population and the increasing obesity in Western countries like the UK, then this is a major tsunami of osteoarthritis pain that's going to hit this country, and it's here already.
We're going to have more of a problem as time goes on, as people live longer and unfortunately are getting bigger and heavier. So we would like the government to take this more seriously, because the earlier you help people with the condition, the less they'll be dependent on the state later on. So as with so many things, if the money and the sensible plan can be put in place now, it'll save not only a lot of pain and distress, but it will save the country financially later on.